Welcome, everyone, to the Watchalong. We're here live. We're going to be watching the Magpies versus the Richmond Tigers. Friday night footy, 4 minutes to go. Should be a good one, we're hoping. I'll let you all join me. I hope we're all doing really well, though, this Friday night. It should be a good game. But we always say that, don't we? We live in hope, as we say, the king of wishful thinking. But I hope you're all doing really well. I hope you can hear me all right. G'day, Luke. How you doing, my good friend? Looking forward to AFL coming out, are we? Should be in the next couple of weeks, isn't it, from memory? Can he wait, mate? I can't wait to get on a bit of AFL streaming action. This should be good. Who are we tipping in this one? Any good tips for this one? I think the Pies are going to win, my initial thoughts. Should be a cracking game, though. G'day, no regret. How you doing, mate? Yeah, you're tipping the Pies? Yeah, I think it's hard to look past the Pies, to be honest. Both sides got outs, though. G'day, Darren. How you doing? Rain should make it interesting. G'day, Michael. How you doing, mate? It's the great leveler, isn't it, the old weather? But it's going to be interesting. G'day, Jeff. How you doing, mate? It's going to be an interesting game. I mean, it's a shame both sides have got their injuries, isn't it, really, to be honest? Because, let's be honest, I think I speak for everyone when I say you want to see these go... You want to see these at the high level, don't you? Like you always do. You want to see both sides at the highest level. You going Richmond, Clarence? G'day, Fiona. How you doing, my darling? Be good, wouldn't it? I mean, you want a tight game. I mean, both these sides play cracking football in their pomp. Be great to see Collingwood's counterpunch versus Collingwood's massive attack. Richmond's counterpunch versus that. It's like the Pacquiao. Seems to be the case, though, doesn't it? Like all the time, really, in sport. It's like the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight. On paper, it sounds good, but in reality, it's not good. I'm good, mate. How are you? Looking forward to this one. I'm hoping the Pies bring what we've seen the first two rounds. G'day, Lachlan. Because, let's be honest, the last two watch-alongs, they've been drab affairs apart from the blackout, which made last week's pretty entertaining, didn't it? There is. I'm good, mate. How are you, Lachlan? Looks like Pies win the toss, so by logic of watch-alongs, Pies win. Should be a good one, Fiona. It should be. I've got to say, I have tipped Pies in this one. I've got a confession to make. I resigned to peer pressure and tipped the Lions last minute after saying the Dogs in my preview with tips. Just goes to show, doesn't it? Spot on, Clarence. It's a shame we didn't see them in their prime. Weather does look bad. Pete, you're right. Obviously, do you know what I mean? They play a territory game, so Richmond will like it. Mate, I feel you, Lachlan. Hope you're doing well, though, mate. I agree, Michael. The toss is important. The toss is important. 7-1 we are winning the toss on a watch-along. So it always makes me feel a little bit more relieved when Carlton win a toss. G'day, Anthony. How you doing, mate? No, Cox. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because, like, Mason Cox, in fairness, he goes under the radar. He has been quite an influential part of what the Pies have built. I mean, imagine 3 years ago saying that Cameron and Cox would be better than Grundy. Crazy. G'day, Jackson, mate. How are you doing, mate? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you at the function the other week as well, mate. Great to see you. Here we go. Nankervis, I have never seen him jump that high, but Cameron gets the stoppage. Tell you what, Dacos has played brilliantly, hasn't he? First couple of, well, both Dacoses. Ball comes in. Bit of work to do here. You could argue that's deliberate. And it is. Taylor Adams going to have an entry here. Yeah, he's got a hematoma in the rib cage. De Goey hits the post. First minor scratch to Pies. Yeah, he's got a hematoma in his rib, hasn't he? Bless him, Mace. So it's probably worked out well, to be fair. Ball still on the field. Oh, that's a risky kick. De Goey going to get his second bite at the cherry. Oh, put down by Bobby. Second chance. The big Gregor Owen. Oh! Oh, tell you what, that was a fly and a half. McStay drags it wide. But jeepers, Majocek with some serious hang time. Just couldn't clutch it. Don't mind it, Lachlan. Sad to see Kennedy out, but I mean, when you're replacing Kennedy with Hewitt, it makes me happy. It probably made it easy for the selectors. I think we have one too many mids. When you bring Ed in, then you're going to have Walsh come in. So it's probably an easy selection, that. I'm glad we went in relatively unchanged. I don't like changing winning teams. Noble under zero pressure from Maurice Rioli. Tell you what, I know it's only 2 minutes in, but I haven't seen Richmond being a bit fumbly. You watch them go down the other end now. Oh, hey, Maurice Rioli, he's slipping as well. I love teams that attack the corridor. Good evening, Jeff. Spreads it wide. Would you say Camden McIntyre should be close to one of the most underrated players in the league? Yeah, Mike, to be fair to Collingwood, they've traded well. Oh, Shy Bolton. Bolton! He gets the first snag. If you watch the preview with Richmond, I said I thought Shay Bolton was going to have a good game. We know Dusty. Bolton gets the Tigers the first goal. Beautiful little crumb as well. Tell you what, outside of the peg from Bolton's got to be one of the more deadly outside of the pegs. I haven't seen anyone that deadly since Messi. Muted celebration from Shy. Yeah, to be honest, in my teams, Lachlan, I had Hewitt rested this week, but Kennedy, you have to bring him in, don't you? So I like the fact they rested him. He is silky smooth. Love that. The old Bob. Do love the outside of the boot. I was partial to that. My pop, when he was my coach, when I was in year 10, year 11, he used to have a go at that. He hated the outside of the old peg, but partial to it if you can get away with it. Collingwood build here. Lovely little handball chain. Josh Dacos takes an age, shakes his man into the danger area. Tell you what, that is the kick, isn't it? That little grubby one on the ground in this kind of weather just causes havoc. Side bottom, outside. Chuff. Oh, mate, a black pudding. Oh, mate. Happy days. We used to have a thing, you probably couldn't call it that anymore, but the cafe where I grew up in the north used to have a thing called the Manwich. And it was like literally like about the size of my arm width. It was a big cobbler roll and it was filled with basically a big breakfast. They hollowed it out, toasted it. Oh, it was pucker, man. Pucker. And it had like, proper black pudding. Oh, mate. Oh, when you're hungover, that was like honestly the best thing I've ever eaten. Probably horrible for you. Like it's probably taken 10 years of my life. Yeah, Lachlan, I should have backed my tips and I changed my tips to Lions last minute. But in my preview, I said Dogs win. I should have backed myself. Oh, I'll tell you what, no one can take a mark. It's very scrappy. Side bottom finding a lot of the pill there. Been a decent start, you know, for a short game. There's been a free kick downfield for something. Been a good old game though. Black pudding or 40 nugs? Mate, I'm a black pudding boy, man. You know, controversial opinion, all right? I don't like a Macca's, to be honest. Controversial opinion. Feel it's overrated even when you're hungover. Yeah, Lachlan, the wet is causing havoc with the skills. I like the way they're trying to cause that deliberate. Like, if that got called deliberate, the game might as well end. Tell you what, both sides, though, their style plays. It was called deliberate. Jesus. Oh, Rioli flies. Oh, you know what? Noble would again be like Camden McIntosh, most underrated. They are defended. Oh, Dundee cake is ripper. Good call. Hungry Jack's chips. I'm a fan because they've got the right salt content. Tell you what, if that had got paid deliberate, we might as well have just ended the game. Richmond, though, showing their skills, 70% disposal efficiency. Then again, they've had the ball 4 times. Jesus. That's crispy there has just displayed probably the worst soccer I've ever seen. Good kick, though, second time. Taylor Adams. Pendles. Running in droves here. Good mark. Good mark from Bobby Hill. Good football. Good football all around from Ash Johnson. You love to see it. A draw? It would be, but obviously Richmond are on the draw, so that helps us, doesn't it? So that would give them, well, I suppose it depends what way you look at it. It would make it interesting. But good goal there. Good. You know what? That's something our side, Carlton, are starting to build that little bit of forward presence, that kick back in from Ash Johnson. Do you know what I mean? Great handball as well. But Majocek's presence to keep that going. Do you know what I mean? And Ash Johnson to Bobby Hill. Smart football. Yeah, I've always liked Cam McIntosh. Greasy Joe's in St. I've never been. I have heard of it, though. Pies are warming up. They are, mate. It's going to be good if both these sides can find full flow. Doner kebab or a gyro, mate. I'm all about, mate. Honestly, if I'm drunk, doner meat with lashings of garlic, mate. Happy days. Oh, that hugs the touchline. Tell you what, that Bo, he's a thug, but he's also quick. Tell you what, both sides, though. Both sides showing some good wet weather football, just playing territory. I love a little bit of territory. It's going to be good, isn't it? bit of physicality. You want to see a bit of physicality in this game. It's good fun. I love a wet weather game done properly. Yairos. That's gone straight out of bounds on the full. Should be a good game, CC. It's why I chose it, but like I chose it before the injury news. I was like, this could be a ripper. Bit of a switch going on. Yeah, it still blags my head as well. I still call it BK. Bobby Hill is making himself a menace. The anticipation there from Bobby that ball was going to be turned over. If they show you the replay, as that kick exited D50, he knew they were intercepted and he was on his bike. Oh, last night's game was horrendous, wasn't it? We've done Brisbane, though, this year. So it's all right. Might not have to do them again. Oh, unlucky. 9-6. Been a good 10 minutes, this. For a 9-6 game, this has been entertaining. What's everyone's thoughts? I saw a good post from the Hoops this week about rules, and a lot of people were voting if it hits the behind post or the goal post. If it goes through, it's a goal. And if it comes back out, it's play on. I like that rule, to be honest. The hustle there from Richmond to get the ball, to find space, is so good. Like, Ralph Smith's ran a mile there for that lead. Bit of work to do here. Yeah, I don't think anyone would. I don't think they'd change it, but I actually like it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it sneaks through, free kick there. Is that blood on Tom Mitchell's face? Oh, Michael, can you imagine a pies, cow, and granny? That's my dream, mate. Yeah, I don't think they'd ever do it, but I think it's a good little rule. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think, imagine as well when a kick comes in and it hits the post and comes down. Imagine the chaos that would be in like a tight game. Oh, it's die. I was going to say, like, his face, obviously it's the centre, but I was like, he's only been out there 2 minutes. Jesus, he's covered in it. What's he do? Spot on power from Port. We'll be doing all that tomorrow. Hopefully. Forward 50 stoppage here for the Pies to build on. Mayachet's complaining already. You know, I've got to say, when I never thought Grundy. I thought they'd miss Grundy a lot, but so impressive that Darcy Cameron has taken it. Nick Dacos blazes it high. A lot of work to do. Oh, no one's out the back. Yeah, that'd be a good rule. I like that, Jeff. It's got to be. It's got to be. It's got to be off from the 50, innit? Legal fights. I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. I can't wait. Nice little warm up. This. Hopefully, this gets us in the mood. In the mood. And there is a mark taken. The man of the hour, Nick Dacos. Not really nervous tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm excited. Love that, Jeff. I'm excited, Michael. I'm good, Chris. How are you, mate? Breathing in the big ones. Breathing in the big ones. Maybe you should have breathed in some more. Nice one, Lachlan, mate. Look after yourself, mate. I'll try and check some of them out, mate, my friend. We appreciate it, brother. You're half and half. I told you I'm treating my boys like a top 4 side. So if we're a top 4 side, you find a way to win tomorrow. He does a little bit. Good shout. I do like all the coaches this year coaching from the sideline. That was one of the first things I noticed when I came over to this country, that you don't do it enough. And I understand being up high, but like soccer coaches have them people in the stands relaying the information you'd see. Because some of them, I don't know if you ever read, but some of them actually increase the dugout. So Pep does it, Jose does it, increases it so they can get a different view. Oh, there he is. He's just fucked off his hat. Much love, man. I'm glad to see you well, Chris. I'm excited to see it as well tomorrow. Can't wait. Love game Eve. Here he is, Mr. Bolton. Like a little bit of defence craft on the old wing. Been real back and forth, hasn't it? The momentum has gone both ways. Nah, Lachlan, it doesn't, mate. Hey, I appreciate you, my bruv. Bombers, I've actually tipped the Bombers for the first time this year against Saints. I think Steele's one too many. It's like Carlton. You know, injuries eventually take the toll. I just don't think St Kilda can keep doing it. And Steele, for me, is huge. Oh, De Goey's just ploughed through there, but Dacos had all the time in the world. Rioli with a Rioli-type tackle. I will check out Connors. I'm looking forward to that. The old F1, mate. Oh. Dacos got it like a truck, didn't he? Some good games on this week, to be fair, especially with how the ladder's gone. Oh, tell you what, no one can take a mark. 12:30. Interesting that, Jeff. I didn't know that. I just think touchline. I understand from the stands. I know a lot of football coaches in the UK, different perspective, but they usually have people up there now. Don't mind motorsport. I've got to say I'm not a big advocate. I'm not a big watcher, but I do watch it if it's on. De Goey straight through the corridor. Good little offload from Tom Mitchell. Oh, tell you what. Impeccable defender. They all get around Bolter. Bolter's covered a lot of ground there. He was never in that last minute fist. I love a fist. Good football. Yeah. Wet G games. Always pants. It's a good sport. I've just got to say, I'm not a car guy. De Goey behind. 10-6. I don't mind F1. I used to watch it a lot more when I was a kid. Like, we're talking Damon Hill. Shocking kicking. Bo McCreary with a don't argue. Dan McStay off a step. Oh, McStay. Could hear Cal's ass with a banjo tonight. MotoGP, don't mind. Like, honestly, it's one of them things. Just, I've never really been into motor vehicles. Like I say, I used to watch a little bit of the MotoGP when Valentino Rossi raced for Yamaha, was it? Before he went to Ducati. The F1. Yeah, I think KO and Fox Sports are the only place, aren't they? Acres of space down the wing. Tell you what, gave him a lot of work to do. Malin Pickett had no chance. Kick in the corridor. Tell you what, Jamie Elliott and De Goey, their hands in the wet has been incredible. Oh, Mayo check. Oh, good tackle. Get into him. Come on, Dylan. Much love, Lachlan. See you soon. Hey, there you are, Jeff. See, look. Me rudimentary knowledge of most sports kicking into play. Oh, Jamie Elliott. Who was the POM racer in Formula One? Buzzcocks, mate. Yeah. Fast cars. Oh, who was the POM racer? What was his name? I saw him race around Oliver's Mount when I was a kid. No, I mean on motorbikes. Damon Hill, yeah, I used to watch a lot 96, 97 Formula One. Hill versus Schumacher. I'm trying to think of the name. I can see him as well. No, motorbikes. Nigel Mansell, he was a proper racer. What was the guy's name? You know, I'm going to have to type it in. Someone will say it in chat. UK MotoGP rider. Was it Fogg? Something Fogg? Pom fine. Cal Fogarty. I remember watching him as well, because obviously, do you know what I mean? Like I'm sure Aussies. Barry Sheen. Dunlap, Jesus, you're throwing names now. Nah, Fogarty, Cal Fogarty. I remember him being like everywhere when I was a kid as well. But yeah, I remember going to watch him around Oliver's Mount. I do. I remember being told he was like a star. Tell you what, Collingwood's pressure around the ball has been good for this 11-6. Colin McRae rally. Hey, I remember, you know, playing that game loads, and he went missing, didn't he, in a helicopter, and they never found it from memory. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I remember he finished like third in sports personality or something. But yeah, I remember like he was a real cool cat. So 5 minutes to go in the first, 11-6. Oh, tell you what, that is a proper tussle. Yeah, Sheen, he was another UK legend. Tell you what, Dacos has got a few. I'd imagine his SC points slowly creeping up. Yeah, that was it. Jeff. I'd imagine that his SC points are just going up a little bit. He's got quite a few cheap kicks. Yeah, he set the record, did he, around the Manx, the TT, where they do it on the Isle of Man. Surely that's holding the ball. Good tackle, Josh. Tell you what, have you noticed that that's something that we've built as well? Wingers that tackle? Yeah, I'm sure it was. Barry Sheen was a legend as well. Yeah, have you noticed that? That's something that I've really enjoyed about Carlton, and Pies are doing it. Having wingers that can tackle just adds something. Oh, I didn't know that, Jeff. Bolter's going well. I've liked his move down the back. There's a proper you feel like one of these quarters is going to open up. Very wet football, though. You love to see it. Great equaliser. Oh, tell you what. Grimes is that player that always looks like he's beat, but he somehow gets there. Got that uncanny knack. It's great to watch. Ash Johnson in the ruck. Gives the free. I didn't know he lived in Australia. The more you know. It's always an education session, these watch-alongs. Oh, tell you what, barged him out the way. Dabo's boy there, straight away. Kick. That's a hell of a roost. Set up around, from Collingwood, the set up around these aerial balls. So good. I'm with you, Jeff. I'm with you, mate. Do you tag Dacos? I always find halfbacks a tricky one because they're always going to get cheap touches. It's what they do with it, innit? Oh, that. Tell you what, we just talked about around the ball. Surely McStay gets one. What is McStay doing? Well done, Ralph Smith. Yeah, I'm not a fan of tagging halfbacks. I think you've got to flood the corridor and stop their use. I mean, I think the best way is Sard, like how he handles half forwards. The fact he gets 25. G'day, Sammy, mate. How are you? Yeah, I agree, Chris. I mean, I think because it's the high half forward position, you need someone to damage. Like, I think the Sard method that we used last week on Stengel is the way. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, give him something to worry about. I think if you had a high half forward on Dacos and he kicked 3 goals, 1 in a quarter, Dacos ain't going to be pissing about, is he? He's going to have some defensive responsibility, or you move him to the midfield. It's like Toby Green. I don't think you tag him. I think what you do is you give him a problem. Do you know what I mean? You give him an issue, so he has to go in the midfield. He is big. Yips, I think it's the wet. But then again, I don't rate Dan McStay's kicking. I think he's good at his leading patterns allow space in behind. Oh, this is a Richmond goal if they get it. It's got to be strong. Frampton, he could be in trouble here. I think you do go 3-0, Sammy, mate. I just think they can't. I don't think St Kilda can handle another injury. Jesus, that's Johnson hang time. Straight out of bounds on the full from Trent Cotchin. He's a big boy. It's all right, actually. 12-6. It's not a high-scoring affair, Dabo, but it's a chess game in the wet. I like it. Look at Collingwood's setup. If Carlton can get that licked in a marking contest, fuck, we'd be good. They've got players front and centre and behind. What a mark! Majorchek takes another lead. He grabs it this time straight in between 2 juggernauts at the back. Vlostin and Bolter. Good game. Good goal. I've got it all set up, Rio, mate. Good day, mate. How you doing? I've got it all set up for tomorrow. I've reinstalled OBS, so it should be all on there. Majorchek kicks the goal. 18-6. Tell you what, it just shows that they're medium-sized players just help you in the wet, don't you? Because you haven't seen Tom Lynch. Mate, I clap every goal. Just love the football. I clap theirs too. Looking forward to tomorrow. Can't wait to see the boys. Just get high on footy, Clarence. Mate. Billy Frampton there getting stuck into Rio. Jesus. Gotta say, you got two career polar opposites. Tell you what, though, great leap that. Good football. Collingwood have just turned it on with 30 seconds to go. Bizarre. Oh, look at Rioli's pace. That's got to be deliberate. What? Suppose you had to do it, didn't you? But Rioli's closing down speed. I can't believe in the 21st century we are getting people to pass the ball back. 18 seconds, the George Gregan style pass from Pendles. Oh. Don't know though, Rio. This year our new recruits, Akers looked very good last week. And Hollands and Cowan have adapted pretty quickly. Frampton is a spud. Bizarre one, isn't it? I just think when you're a top four side, like that's what I'm saying. This year I'm judging Carlton because for me the plan was 8th and then top 4. So I'm not counting 9th. I ain't giving them another year. They finished 8th in the POM plan. So top 4 side, you ain't going to defend. You're going to try and I think Saad did it there. Do you know what I mean? Saad did it there. Saad took out Stengel. Stengel had to defend and he was useless. It's interesting one, GWS, because I don't know where GWS are. Do you know what I mean? And I think under a new coaching regime, you've got to fight them. Like really, the mindset tomorrow for Carlton is like if the top 4 sides play when they used to play us in like 2018. Do you know what I mean? Treat us with no respect. Just go out there and play your game. And if you go a couple of goals down, know that you're too good. 2013 Carlton side is better than now. I'd say the style of football we'd play, with it being 10 years, I'd say it would batter them. We'd win. No. Do you know what I mean? I will appreciate, though, this rebuild has been probably the worst rebuild close to of all time. But I will caveat it that Collingwood, Geelong, they've never rebuilt properly. They add experience on experience with new kids. Carlton, 2015, we just put kids in. Come on, Pies, kick more goals, not points. It's going to be tough. It's tough weather, isn't it? You can see. Just stop Himmelberg. Himmelberg, I called him in my preview. He's one that worries me just because he's one of them players that can float. And we haven't seen Kingsley deploy him down back. And I personally think he's more dangerous down back. What was my first reaction? I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I was like, what the hell's going on? Aerial ping pong. But then I fell in love, to be honest. It grew on me. Once I started to know what was going on, fell in love with it. It was very quick as well. Cajun dipping sauce on nugs. Not a fan. Not a fan. So quarter time, 18-6. It's been a real chest-type game. Collingwood had the better exchanges in the opening 5. Then we saw a bit of Richmond. And then Collingwood closed the quarter out. So, interesting one. Interesting one. It's not free-flowing. It's very scrappy. Both sides playing territory. So, it's going to be an interesting second. I think that's it, CC. I think because it's so different, like round ball and AFL, so different. Like round ball is really slow and patient and build up, and even the more attacking sides, there's a lot of tactics involved in football. In round ball, it's a real tactical game, so you've got to kind of get into that, and but yeah, it's something that you fall in love with. Don't like it when we look at. Yeah, I'm with you, Rio. I think at this stage now, that's why I'm saying Carlton are a top 4 side in my mind, so I judge them as a top 4 side, and I'll pick on them and be nice to them in that. I love that, Jeff. Massive rugby area, though. Kiwis are mental about rugby. Mental. Top 8 power rankings for this season so far. Oh, God, that's a good one. Suppose you have to put Sydney top, but who have Sydney played? Do you know what I mean? Wouldn't you? You'd have to put Sydney top, though. Do I like it? Not really. Not really. But I'd say Sydney are top. Someone asked me this question in Facebook the other day. Let me just see my answer so I gave my reasoning, so that made it easy. Let's have a look. Here we are. Right. Pom's top 8. Here we are. So I've got Sydney, Collingwood. All right. Carlton, Richmond. Melbourne, Geelong. Brisbane, Dogs. Essendon, St Kilda, Port, Freo, GWS, Gold Coast, Adelaide, North, West Coast, and Hawthorn. I did that based on my pre-season expectations from them all as well. So that's why like Fremantle were a little bit higher, because I thought they would be around that 9 for 10 spot. Do you know what I mean? And been worse. I'm very well, GTA, mate. How are you, my friend? Two-pack, good day, mate. Phil Carlton's list of too many players that are young and need develop. I mean, I think when you look at Carlton's list, I think they're getting to that stage now where they should win like teams have won flags younger. Do you know what I mean now? Like I think I appreciate finals wise 0 experience, but Carlton's list is now the 8th oldest, and it's 13th in games. So centre clearance 1. Oh, there we are. Ash Johnson takes the mark straight away. Yeah, it's a tough one. I only had Sydney above them purely because I think you've got to beat what's in front of you, and they beat them very comfortably. Very comfortably. I've only seen the first season of Ted Lasso. I've been meaning to catch up on the second. I've heard about Zaffa, though. A few of my mates watch it. Ash Johnson gets the goal. 24-6. Mike Cruiser as a former coach. Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of experience in that coaching box, though, haven't they? They've got a lot of experience in that coaching box. G'day, Paul. G'day, Indy and Chloe. Hope you're doing all right. G'day, Robbie. How you doing, mate? So Ash Johnson kicks it. You know, interesting enough, my bet I had pre-season, right, pre-game is going well because Ash Johnson was one of the goal kickers, but I did have Tommy Lynch for 4, and that might kill me. But everything else is coming true. Oh, exactly. Great players. I think more, though, just from a coaching standpoint, that's where you can gain the finals experience from them. They know what it takes. Surely that's a trip. Bit of ill discipline from Richmond. A few rubs of the green as well going Collingwood's way in the coaching thing. I mean, the umps thing, but it's a wet weather game. You always get shocking. It's who you bring them in. It's who attacks the ball. And Richmond, to be fair, I haven't attacked the ball as hard as the Pies. Oh, I agree. Sydney have played the weaker sides, but I mean, to be fair, they've pummeled them. Do you know, they've pummeled them. And you've got to give them that. Yeah, problem is, Tupac, though, you can't just bring anyone in. And, like, you look, since Nick Austin's come, who's been senior that they could bring in as a player? Not many. And Vossi's got that. Vossi's obviously got his mantra. Do you know what I mean? And he's brought in coaches that have pedigree with young players, and he knows. I can't wait for EPL to come back. I mean, you got to remember, Richmond won their flag off the back of their draft 2016 and their trade period where they brought in some fresh youth and that gave them the impetus. That's a very tight call, that push in the back. Oh, dear. He had to go for it. Ash Johnson's having his Carlton moment here. Having his... He's grabbing everything this quarter. Looks all right, though, does Murphy. Took a punch to the face. He took that pretty well, to be honest. Like a Friday night in Newcastle, that. What is he doing here? I have never seen someone take a kick at goal and then handball it after running 10 steps. Be interesting with Haaland. I mean, he came back, started to score goals, didn't he? And then got knocked again. Makes the Premier League interesting. I do still think it's Arsenal's. I mean, it's tough, though. Arsenal or City, I don't really want either to win it, but you'd take Arsenal over City, I think, purely just for the story. I tell you what, just quietly, Collingwood are slowly starting to put it in a position now. If they kick the next one, Richmond are in a world of hurt. Zach Williams, I'll agree with. I think George Hewitt, though, it was one season, and the season after he played the full year. So there was no sign of back issues, and it was managed. And I'll always say this. I know people like to have a go at Russell, but I would say 70% of Sauce's draftees were injured as juniors. Yeah, but they've never been linked, is my point, Tupac, mate. Do you know what I mean? They've never been linked. They've been separate incidents. One was a contact. Then he had the off-season one. But, I mean, you look at his games played, ridiculous availability. George Hewitt, you would actually say, if he was a Carlton player from when he was drafted, played them all. Like, 2020 was the back incident. After that, he's played 20-plus games all year. But you look at the players that are serially injured from Carlton, all of them historically are injured players. Marchbank had injuries as a kid. Cunners had injuries as a junior. Kerner had injuries the year before he was drafted. Martin, injuries at GW at Gold Coast. It's like, it's no surprise. It's going to be a tough one, that, Chris. I always think you'll never know if... Surely that's a free kick to Richmond. What? Who remembers the 91 wet weather game? I don't, mate, but I love a wet weather game. I do think the David Teague thing set us back, and I think we should have gone for an experienced coach after the Bolton incident. After Bolton, I think he kind of said we needed a senior coach, and obviously they took the easy option. I think we missed a good 2 years of development there. It's amazing how they've changed their game plan under Voss and the new administration instantly. Do you know what I mean? Instantly, they changed their game style. I'll tell you what, Richmond have lifted Jeff, but if this goal goes in, 27-6. G'day, Jai. How are you doing, mate? I do love a wet weather game. I might have to try and find that one out. Yeah, 2 part. I mean, Charlie Kerner was the biggest no-brainer. He only fell. Let's be honest. He was a top 5 talent. Many draft boards on him 7th or 8th. So we wouldn't have got him. We'd have only got Harry or 1. So he was lucky. Do you know what I mean? He was lucky, right? He was lucky with that. But then you look at Zach Fisher. He's been okay for his pick in the 20s. Sam Walsh, you can't count it. You could have got Dave. You could have got Dave from the Dog and Duck to pick Sam Walsh. Harry Mackay, again, no-brainer, was the best forward in that draft that was available and Carlton did it. Jacob Wheater, you can't count that as well. It was between him and Shaki. Lockie O'Brien, pick 10, way too early for him. Way too early. So on output, that's a shocking draft choice. And TDK, dependent on how he goes from where he is, pretty good. But them picks, though, Russell hasn't injured him. Where Nick Austin, he's nailed every pick since coming in. So Nick Austin, our new list manager, has nailed every one. Who's Nick Austin brought in that's injured? None. Apart from Zach Williams. Do you know what I mean? Apart from Zach Williams, which still to this day, I don't know why they brought him in. I'd say all of his picks have been pretty shrewd. I do feel, though, Zach Williams is a bit like Saucy's opinion that he told you about Mitch McGovern. That was the old chairman, and Sauce alluded a lot of pressure was in to bring a big name, which Mitch McGovern wasn't, where he was, but wasn't part of the plan. If you go back and watch Sauce's pre-draft, Sauce talks about what he's getting, and it's not Mitch McGovern. And then when he left the club, he's alluded. But Nick Austin hasn't picked up any injury-prone players apart from Zach. Oh, Chris, spot on. Dirge was a good pick. He was a very good pick. But you look at some of them. Dow, I mean, that's a tough one. Like, it's a tough one. That draft class there was probably the hardest draft to pick. Because all of them have been late bloomers in that top 5, really, apart from probably Chesney. Good kick. When Richmond used the corridor, it's so nice. That is Trent Codgin has absolutely sold a kipper, but they've got another chance. Thank you very much, Mrs. Pom. Chat, appreciate you as much as I do. Good old cup of tea. Richmond just feel like they need to build something, which they're trying to do. Oh, what has Prestia done here? They've definitely put a lot of work, Chris, into the list management now. You can see that. I hope the communication lines have opened. Well, it seems it has between coaching and list management. It's why Geelong works so well. The communication between what Scott wants and stuff like that pretty much gets done. I think years gone by, there was a bit of disjointedness. But I think everyone's a general after the fight. Like, I cover the draft a lot, and I've had a pretty good success rate, touch run, particularly with Carlton's picks. If you remember, I was a big advocate of Durden over James Rowe, which the media said we were going to get James Rowe. Taranto behind, but it is hit and miss. It's hard. It's a very scrappy game. It reminds me, actually, of the 2019 game. Do you remember when it was pissing down with Wen? Oh, I think Teague was an obvious choice because of the results, and I think he probably got lucky that 2018 was so bad that Cowan started to win games when he came in. Jamie Elliott looks very sore. Yeah, if you remembered, Michael James Rowe said that he's the worst player, like no pressure, and that was what problem with Cowan. We weren't good enough at the time to have someone just to stand there and kick goals. No, a scrappy, entertaining game, Paul. I'd say, mate. Welcome to the stream. Lemmy's amazing because it just shows you, like, this is what, when people get excited about the father and sons we got coming up in a couple of years, it's why I always say be careful, because Lemmy was like, I think he was 14th on my potential board, and I think he was 8th. Do you know what I mean? He was 8th, so a lot can change. Tom Lynch takes a massive grab. I need him to kick 4. He lays it off. Taranto thinks he's got all the time in the world there, and he's been dug into the turf. Spot on, Chris. Bin's absolutely sensational. Taranto just eaten by Bo McCreary there. Do love Binsy. Oh. Oh, surely that's... Like, Nick Dykos just threw that over the line. Tough. I was thinking that... I thought Tom Lynch should have just loaded up, because this needs a goal from Richmond. Richmond are in the stage now where it's wet. You can see. What is Tom Lynch doing there? Tom Lynch, honestly, I hate sticking money on this guy, because I think every time I've had money on Tom Lynch, he decides to just like go wandering, but then he'll probably kick 5 in a quarter. Josh Dacos gives him the outlet ball. Mayochek with the accidental punch to the face. I hate to say it. I think we've moved past Matt Cottrell. Maybe a chance if he goes back to his high half forward role that they liked in VFL, but it's good to be able to rotate the wings. But I think you've seen the benefit of Hollands and Akers, which are pure wingers, pure modern day wingers. It was very cold, and there was probably a reason. I just think I think at the time, I'll still stand by this. I think if Bolton had the support, who knows what might have happened. That's a shocking kick. But I think you might as well have kept Bolton if you're bringing in an experienced coach. I think AFL history says you bring in a mature coach. It's interesting because I'm watching St Kilda, right? And all Ross the boss has done is made basics be implemented. It's not exciting. It's very basic football, which is why it's working, right? My question on Ross is, can he take that to the next level? Because I think he's got them playing as a team that could finish 10th, right? That'll make you finish 10th. Can it make you finish top 4? I don't think it can with the way that the top teams play. So my question is, probably at that time, someone who could stabilise Carlton would have been perfect, like a Ross with an ascension plan of a young progressive coach. I just don't think, I think that's the model you go for. Or you go like the Hawthorn approach. It's going to be interesting how Hawthorn handle it. Of big young team, young coach, you've got to keep backing him. Tom Lynch, he's a weird one. He's a weird one because he's one of them players as well that can do nothing all game and then hit you with 4 goals. I always stand by, I think Judd knew. Because how many times do we see new coaches? Like, all the new coaches have won this year. It always happens. Last year it happened as well. Just sometimes if you're under a real shit coach or negative football, just saying go out there and play gets you cheap results. Oh, my God. Richmond's entries inside 50. No composure. And Collingwood with ease work it up to halfway. Like I say, I think time will tell, because if this list wins 2 or 3 flags, probably is. I mean, like I say, drafts are tough because we get the benefit of 5 years. He doesn't. I think some of the decisions were bad. I think I'll stand by it. Lockie O'Brien at pick 10, mental. Do you know what I mean? But time will tell. I mean, Nick Austin's got an easy job. The call's there. Caleb Marchbank on Mitch McGovern. Tough one because, like, for me, both of these players are playing the most important role in modern day football. Intercept marker. All the top teams have it. Incredibly important. You don't want it coming from Wheatering. Biggest issue, though, to build a team, you need to be able to play 23 games with them. And the problem is, Mitch McGovern, Touchwood's fit now. Marchbank's still coming back. That'll be an interesting one, I think. Oh, mate, Judd will have known. I just think at the time, it was I think if Carlton didn't have that 2018, I stand by. I don't think Teague would have got it. I think they would have given it an interim and then actually done a process. But I think he did it. Excited about seeing Cunners. I think he is a player that has played a lot of his football at high half forward. I think that is probably Carlton's need. I think that's the only thing where we haven't got an X-factor consistent talent. Be an interesting time. I hope he does well tomorrow. I hope he kills it in the VFL. Looking forward to watching it. SPS at 6. You see, SPS is to back up 2 packs here. The development of SPS, when you look at his first year when he was playing, and then where we started throwing him, that's what we've done a lot with these young players. And credit, since Luke Power's come in, it's kind of stopped. But moving players around does my head in. And you see it in the fan base. Loads of people saying, oh, we should swing this guy here. Dow half forward, Dow pocket forward. No. Like one job or two jobs if they're multifaceted in juniors. Just SPS absolutely cabbaged him. In 3 years, he played 3 different roles. Kills me. So, I mean, it's a tough one. But, I mean, obviously, yes, it was massively disappointing. At the time, probably the 6th best talent in there. Jamie Elliott, got a bit of work to do. Feeds it back to Majocek. Bolter. Good Jack Ross and Baker. They are so intent. I really like Maurice Rioli. Really like Maurice Rioli this game. Tell you what, will Collingwood rue these? They've done this 3 times this quarter, had an easy goal, and left with a behind. It does feel like that, doesn't it, Michael? But you'd imagine at half-time they'll get him. Brodie Kemp, he's a massive one for me. He could be that third thing. He could be that third intercept because he was super impressive in juniors. Be interesting, Jeff. I don't think he does. I think Carlton have to go out and buy an X Factor exciting third. And whether that's in juniors, because a lot of them play that role very early doors. Josh Rochelle, if you remember the draft previews, I loved him. Next year, there's a few in the top 20 that play that role. Keep an eye on. So they're them kind of things that you can find. But Anthony, I always say this, the club listen to us. And I think sometimes the loudest voices in that the club listen to don't have the best interests at heart. Don't have the best interests at heart. They have like some kind of weird interests at heart. It's like this year people are starting to question JSOS, which people had a go at me for questioning it, where I love JSOS. He's one of my favourites. But for me, if we're going to have him in that team, he can't be a ruckman. He has to look down on that third forward. And I would have loved to have seen him play a whole year last year as that third high half forward. And I'm hoping this week he nails it because I think he could be that guy. But last year would have been the first time JSOS had played in a team that actually attacked inside 50. Never got to see it. Do you know what I mean? Because he was pissing about in the ruck, and I hated that. Hated it. I know he had to do it. Someone had to do it, but I hated it. No, I'm with you, Brian. I hated it. I hated the idea. Foggett is the weirdest player in RVFL because I don't know why he's on the list. And like, I'd love to have seen JSOS last year have 23 games at high half forward. Like, I appreciate he had to play the ruck for whatever reason, but feel like we missed a year of him getting used to this midfield because you can see Curnow and Mackay the last 2 weeks. That midfield now understand them, they understand them. And then you could see with JSOS, he made some great leads. No one picked him out. It's going to be good. It's going to be good to see. Josh Honey's definitely one to watch because he's playing that Martin role in the VFL now full-time. So I'll be interested to see if he gets his opportunity, should he take it. Richmond here, this would be... Oh, that would have been a huge moment after Collingwood's 10-minute dominance if that had gone through the old I diddle, but it didn't. Minute 7, 28-8. Nick Dacos to take the kick in. So if you are watching Supercoach, points, cheap Supercoach points here. Richmond get this before half-time. This could make it interesting. They're building nicely. Go through the corridor. Vlastin's going to roof one in. And Camden McIntosh, we talked about him earlier, takes the grab. That was the most Richmond goal I have ever seen. If this goes through. Why wingers are so important if they can pincer her in. Oh, 9-28. That would have been a huge goal, that. Collingwood dodge a bullet at halftime, then 28. Collingwood, 9 Richmond. It's been a real seesaw little game in the wet. Collingwood 3-10, 28 to 1-3-9. It's not been your classic, but it has been a decent game to watch, to be fair, for a low scorer. A lot of wet. Weather football, a lot of territory, but all in all, a fun game, 19-point lead. So, I mean, hopefully we see a little bit of football coming up. But they're struggling in this water. It does, doesn't it, Michael? It's one of them games, like, literally, that 19 points. I always say, if you're double the opposition score at half-time, it's pretty much game over. And Richmond, though, have their chances in that back half. It'll make them, they'll feel pretty confident. They'll feel pretty confident. You know what? Everything in my bet has come through. I had Steele to get 15, Tom Mitchell to get 20. He's on 16. Right? Collingwood just to win. Lynch to get 4 goals for $1,000. He's not going to do it, is he? Looks like. I knew it was going to be wet, but I just thought he'd do it. What a bad time. Oh, when do I see our first loss coming? Full disclaimer, I thought, I did a prediction video on worst case scenario, right? So I had a 0 and 2. So it was worst case scenario, just to prove that these next 5 weeks were how count getting into finals. So GWS, I'd expect to win. I'm going to say expect, okay? I'd expect to win against North. Adelaide Oval at Adelaide, I'd expect to win. St Kilda, I'd expect to win. Eagles, I'd expect to win. It'll be in between round 8 and round 13. I expect. That's insane. It's meant to be damp. Got to be a big second half. Hey, I hope he can get 4 goals, because that'll be the best bet I've ever had. If I could bring any player from the past, well, we need a high half forward, but I'm going to cheat because I've got a personal relationship with him. Anthony Koutafidis, I'd bring him back because he liked going down back. He didn't mind playing at high half forward as well. He loved being on the ball and on the wing. The man for all seasons. Prime Anthony. Fev, good shout. Can you imagine that 3? Well, I suppose then you could play Kerno at high half forward, couldn't you? Good shout. I like that, Tupac. You're thinking outside the square there. Cooter. I'm trying to think. Who else. Cooter, Fev. Lance Whitnell would be nice, wouldn't he? Bit of Lance Whitnell just coming up that higher forward. Just don't get him to run. I mean, we don't really need a pure midfielder, do we? I mean, it would be great to see Judd and Cripps work together in their prime. But obviously it's not going to happen. But pretty tough call, isn't it? I would like I'd like this is just sentimental. You know, I always tell people off for being sentimental, but I wouldn't mind bringing back like a Cade Simpson. Do you know what I mean? Just so he wasn't so he wasn't in a losing side, so he could get some fucking dubs. Diesel, Earl Spalding, Andrew Walker, not a bad shout. Yaz, Chris Yarron was my favourite Carlton player when I first started watching. Yeah, it's meant to be wet tomorrow. That'd be grouse. I like a wet game. It's a good question, that too, Pat, mate. Who else? Bit more sentiment. Jeffy Gala, Jared Waite. Oh, Peter Bazzusto. Shot Chris. Jared Waite wouldn't be bad because he likes to play that third position. Eddie Betts, prime, would be all right. Pete's on the same wavelength. Oh, Matt Cruiser. Prime, Matt Cruiser. Good question, that. Bruce Dull, Levi Casbolt. Tell you what, we joke about it, but you know, when we had them rug problems last year, imagine Levi. Right, I'm going to go and get a drink refill, have a 5-minute break. So go and look after yourselves. I will be back for the start of the second half. I'm back. Right. I'm fed and wattered. Right. Let's get into this. Heath Scotland, tell you what boot he had on him. What a boot. You know what? I am so disappointed that I bought in on Tom Lynch. The guy hasn't even seen the pill, has he? How many touches has the guy had? 3. Great. Nick Dygan. Good shout. I remember his elimination final. Lockie Henderson. Jesus, that's... You know, we should bring back... Who was that lovely little Indigenous small forward who kicked that, like, goal of the year in pre-season? Oh, his name escapes me. He was always on the precipice. Like, he was always talked about. Oh, it's got to do my head in. Let me bring up my count and delistings. Right. Playing list 2018. You watch someone get this in the comments. Kim Boy. Kim Boy, do you remember him? That goal he kicked in pre-season, was it against Fremantle in the pre-season? Absolute screamer as well. Absolute screamer that goal was. Absolute peak. Melbourne. It was against Melbourne. Absolute screamer. If you ever get a chance to watch it, absolute goal. Absolute goal and a half. Tell you. Happy days. Kim Boy. What a player. Get around him. The LeBoy dog. Oh, it was such a it was about the time as well, if you remember, we needed a small forward. So I remember getting really excited about it. Jake Stringer back in the Essendon lineup. Be an interesting one, won't it? Troy Menzel, gosh. You know, that used to be my favourite thing to do with Adelaide. Just to ask him how Troy Menzel was going. Because you remember that Liam Stocker trade? They used to ask about it all the time. They used to mock us all the time. So I used to go, remember Troy Menzel? Tell you what, they love a football headline, don't they? Is Buddy done? Jesus. You watch Buddy kick 6. And then they'll be like, oh, Buddy's still got it. That Jamara moment was magical, wasn't it? That he had a fantastic game. What a way to respond as well after the week he's had. I actually thought, what's chat thing? I thought Jamara handled this week so maturely for such a young player. Oh, Andres Everett. Gosh, I remember him, yeah. What a big, bulky unit he was. Big Andres. He was he was like top 5 goal kickers when he fared 2000 to 2010. Did he? Doesn't surprise me. Yeah, Jamara was sensational. What a way to respond. And I loved how mature he was. How mature, like what a mature response from such a young kid. I hate Wreck-It Ralph. Hate Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah, I remember doing the team of the decade with Terry. And remember, yeah, like being like, wow. Jordan Lewis has really gone for it since his media career, hasn't he? Like, look how skin tight them pants are, man. They're painted on. Fair play. Fair play to him. Fair play to the young lad. Right, so we're hoping for Tom Lynch 4 goals and then Pomo treat the wife. Tom Stewart, 2 weeks after a 4-week out. Bizarre turnaround. Is that a show of fear from the Cats, do you think, against Gold Coast? Like they've rushed him back for that game? You would have thought Gold Coast would have been not the team that you do it, but fair play to them. I suppose they've got loads of outs down that back line. Buddy Franklin might be worth an old toot this week, mightn't he? The Masters. Jack Nicklaus. The GOAT. Billy Schmetz. Billy Schmetz. What a player. Yeah, it seems like one of them layouts, doesn't it, Anthony? Like, one of them ones that, you put in there to cause a bit of aggro for Gold Coast. But, I mean, if he plays, he plays. Love the Masters. Tell you what, they milk the ads, don't they, on Fox Footy? Sweet Jeeps. What have we got here? Some of these ads, man. Bit of poltergeist activity. Zero. It's an interesting one, isn't it, Gold Coast? Because you just don't know. Should they be better than they are? Like, Gold Coast are one of them teams that get a lot of hype, don't they? And you sometimes think, is it AFL wishful thinking? Dennis Armfield, tell you what, can you find me a guy that just made you smile more than Dennis? I think Stewie Dew, I think he'll be gone at the bye if they're not 50%. I think if they're not 50% of the bye, he's gone. Hinckley's going to be an interesting one as well because they've wanted to sack Hinkley for like 4 years, it feels like. He just survives, doesn't he? Hinkley survives every year. Hinkley survives. Daisy, I liked him towards the end, when he started to sort himself out. I think when we first came, I think everyone would agree he was a bit of a disappointment, wasn't he? Once he matured into that like more mature role, thought he was stiff the year we got rid of him, to be honest. I think that was his best year, wasn't it? These Uber Eats ads. So shocking. Interesting one, though, because like the AFL don't really take punts on new coaches, do they? Like, I was joking to my mate. You can see at the end of the year, the Dogs sack Beveridge, and then Port sack Hinkley, and then Hinkley goes to the Dogs and Beveridge goes to Port. You can see it, can't you? Like, it'd be interesting to see, like, Caracella. I think Gold Coast need a young coach. I actually think they need someone with fresh ideas because they've got a plethora of young talented footballers playing an archaic game. An archaic game style. What's going on with this ad? What a bizarre ad. Carlton's dud team of the decade. Jesus. Oh, God. Pete. It'd probably be the start in 22 of 2018. Wouldn't it? Minus the players still playing. Lang would be stiff to be named, though, wouldn't he? Bootsma, I vaguely remember. I mean, I do remember the incident. I don't remember much of him playing there. I'll be honest. It's kind of escaped my memory of watching him play. But I do remember how he left. Well, they've given Tom Lynch and Rewalt a bollocking. Noah Cumberland is on. And he gets a 6-month payout. Be interested, though. I mean, I think AFL coaches get way too long. Oh, he's just taken that mark. He's taken the grab. Cumberland's been on, what, 12 seconds? Made something happen. And he's taken this mark here off my boy Lynch. Good one game, though, isn't it? If you're going to have one game, have a Tom Bell. And there's the goal. 15-28. Suddenly it's interesting. Should have let Tom Lynch have it for Pom, but I'm glad for you, CC. Big goal. Big goal. Big goal early there. That's what you want to see. Made it interesting. But yeah, Cumberland being on 5 seconds, delivers the pass, and there it is. Good sub. Tell you what, if they get it out of the corridor here, Michael, out of this contest, game on. Oh, Presti is just a little terrier, isn't he? Bit of WWE action. I just need Lynch for CC. So after that, we don't really care. It's always that thing, isn't it, though? Injuries. Like, counting and injuries are just synonymous, aren't they, man? Aren't they? Like, Jesus. Well, we're cheering on Lynch together, CC. Richmond are making more of a fight of it here. Good to see. Big Billy Frampton, eh? Feel you, Michael. Oh, that is the worst handball I've ever seen, umps. How has Jamie Elliott got away with that? Like, they've got the free kick now, but Jamie Elliott there. George Griggan used to do that in the 99 World Cup final. Tell you what, Cumberland's up and about, isn't he? And there it is. There's a big, big snaggeroo. Great football all round. Old Liam Baker, the Audi version of Dustin Martin, finishes some great work. But Noah Cumberland's been revolutionary since coming on. What a substitution. We are probably seeing the best sub of all year so far. He has been impeccable. G'day, Lachlan. You've come back at the right time. Look at this hustle here. Great kick in. And a lot of work to do. But there he is. Do you know what I mean? Judson Clark. Big goal. And a good goal. Tell you what, this game has upped up a notch. 21-28. Pickett. Crazy what just changing who you play for does for you, doesn't it? Tell you what, De Goey there had a chance. They're the chances you've got to take when the pressure lifts. But we have a game. We have a game on our hands. You'll love to see it. I like these games, Jeff, because it's like a neutral game. The game is getting better now. It's gone up. We do need Lynch to live. Need Richmond to start kicking it inside 50. They've just been playing it in. It doesn't help. Tell you what, though, Richmond are starting to up their little tackle rate as well. Bit stiff there, but Majocek's going to launch one. Oh, don't score review this. It was obvious. Oh, my God. How do you not see that? Look, like, that's almost in the cheer squad, bro. I don't think he's made contact at the point they're pausing it. Like, that's just rolled through. That's come off the foot of the defender. Nah, that's over. Come on. Well, we just got that in real time. We got that in real time here. I think the line was like 180 for this game. I should have added that to the multi. Not that it's happening anyway because we need 4 goals. What was the sub? It was Samson off for Mr. Cumberland, and he has been sensational since coming on. Close call. Fuck me. I would have scored more goals than Pele if they counted them. Baker's Collingwood, Richmond's kicking outside of D50 at pace is ridiculous. Oh, what is going on here? Headband there, being rocked. You love to see it. I'll tell you what, big quarter this. It's going to be interesting to see how Collingwood handle this. Richmond have gone up the gear. And they're just winning everything at the moment. That could be holding the ball. He's got away with it. Presti is just a little hard guy, isn't he? Might be on for the Tom Lynch here if this goes big Gregor Owen into it. G'day, Lana. I hope you're having fun, my darling. Oh, Tom. Oh, Jack Rewell gets a sling tackle. This is going to make this game very interesting. Shame it wasn't Tom Lynch there for me and CC. I like the way that Jack knew that was coming as well. Knew it was coming. You knew he was going to milk that, and he did. 27-30, 14 minutes 25 to go in the third, and Richmond 3 goals in a row has made this fixture come to life. Collingwood a lot of work to do. And Pies are going to be ruining them shots that we were talking about. Just getting inside 50 all the time and leaving with a behind. 3-12. Half of them have gone through. This game's dead and buried. Tom Mitchell just launch. They're having to push now, Collingwood. Collingwood are starting to take on that kick. They're having to adjust. Nankervis. Shai Bolton. Oh, really? Cumberland has been in everything. Big mark from Quainer. Early yips. Spot on. Bad kicking is bad footy. He's killing us, isn't he? I thought that was it as well, CC. I thought this is the kick, you know, deep on the goal square. Might get another chance, though, here. Taranto. Oh. I don't think Tom Mitchell's had a legal handball all game. Here's Lynch. Probably the worst bit of football I've ever seen by Lynch there. You can see he's nearly 2 meters tall. Josh Dacos clears their lines. Tell you what, Collingwood need something here. Great inside-out handball. Nankervis, for someone so big, is incredibly gifted sometimes on the deck. Here we are, Collingwood. Oh, they have completely balls that up. Richmond should clear their lines here. And they do. I'll tell you what, this game has come to life now. Richmond starting to take on that risky corridor click. They get the stoppage at halfway. What a game this has become. A lot of work for McRae to do, and you can see that. There's a little bit of pressure on him. He looks a little bit concerned. Another stoppage. How funny would it have been if Dylan Grimes just kicked that back to the umpire out on the full? It was never out. That would have been quality. Taylor Adams seems to be one of them guys that's just like a patchwork doll, doesn't he? Like, he seems to be constantly under an injury crowd and constantly gets up. Oh, that's a bad time to slip. Is the umpire going to ping him? Oh. He has indeed, winner. Thank you very much for joining the chat the other day as well, mate. What a sub as well from Dimmer, to be fair. Sub of the that could be the sub of the year. Both sides. Jamie Elliott, Pendles, casual handball, Josh Dacos. It's a big goal. It is a big goal. And we've seen that combination this year, Pendlebury to a Dacos. It's Josh this time. This game could be a nail biter. Pies needed that goal. He has a moment, doesn't he? Pendlebury's one of them players. when they need him, he does it. No doubt. Two-pack, no doubt. Just quietly, though, Jamie Elliott has been involved in a lot of Collingwood's good football in this term when they've been behind the 8 ball. This next goal for both sides is so important. Marley on Pickett. Bit of pivoting. Richmond, when they do that, they look like they're under pressure, but they're not, aren't they? Them handballs, they run around the tackles, find that outlet ball, and suddenly they're all away. Prestia, edge of 50. It's Timmy Taranto. They've gone out and got a big name player. He is one of the bigger names in the league. Big goal, this. Very good coaching by Dim. Been a very scrappy game. Jesus, that looks like my old mate George's free iron into a green, that on a par 5 second, trying to take off too much. What a horrible snap hook that was. No damage done, though. Richmond get to kick it in for me and CC. This could be good. Top of the goal square. Get out of the way, Jack. Hopefully it keeps you awake, Lachlan. It's good. A good finish. Oh, Jamie Elliott's got a foot race here. It's a smart kick, Ash Johnson, if it's a clean pick-up. Oh, can't wait to see Cunners Robbie. 37-27. This next goal is so important. Game's wide open. I wonder when they press the button on Josh Carmichael. It feels like it needs an injection. They've got the numbers here. Tom Mitchell through the corridor. It's a questionable handball, but Ash Johnson's done well there. Bobby Hill. Who did they bring on for Carmichael? Jamie Elliott here would kick. Who's gone off? It didn't come up on my screen. Jamie Elliott, these are the goals, unfortunately. Jamie Elliott doesn't mind. Come off the moment. I think that's touched, is it? It's a goal. 43-27. That kid does not look happy. Is Adams out? Oh, no, I was going to say. Lachlan, yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Who went off? You can't tell on the website. It's one of them horrible... AFL website has to be the worst sporting website in the world. Using it on the PC. The app's pretty tasty. Let's have a look. So I can tell thee. It says he's not activated. Yeah, I feel your aunt, mate. We'll get confirmation if Josh Carmichael is on. That's amazing, Cece, isn't it? Oh, big tackle. Pendles. 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 What a goal. Vintage Scott Pendlebury seemed to lose it, find it, lose it. It's a big goal from the old man. Vintage Pendlebury, though, he danced around. Danced around, and me and Cece are still waiting for our boy, Tom Lynch, just to find the ball. Big goal, that. It's going to test Tiger's character now. Tigers had them at 6s and 7s. Really, Jeff? I'm surprised because the All Blacks are such a big name in sport. Richmond need the next. And Bo McCray, now everything is going Collingwood's way. Oh, jeez. You know it's bad when you try and spoil it behind the goal line and you jump over the ball. Look at these guys here. They are getting into it. Jeepers. 7 minutes 39, then 50, place 27. Vlostin with the kick in. It's nice, isn't it? It's nice when it free flows. Big mark by Isaac Quaynor. Game's just shifted in momentum. It was a smart kick. Not enough on it, though. Baker's taking an age to take this. Had to go long. Always someone front and centre. Jack Rewell gets the free. He's asking for a 50. He's giving away the free. He's going to give away 50 for talking. Oh, look at that. He's complaining about it. Jesus Christ, how much shirt do you want, Jack? No damage done there. Richmond need this goal. I can't remember Steele's side bottom with there. There must have been a time he did. I can't even remember it. Oh, Shai Bolton. Oh, gang tackle. That is Richmond, but he's snuck out the back. Baker's got a lot of work to do. You know, Dan McStay reminds me of any centre-back you play if you ever get demoted to Sunday when you play for a Saturday team in the UK. So that's like the thirds and fourths. Do you know what I mean? And you play one that just chugs along and you batter him all day. You feel like prime Michael Owen. Tom Lynch! CC! We're on, baby! Milhana we've had, Jeeps. Cumberland again. Right, come on, Lynchy. Don't let us down, mate. We've waited nearly 2 hours football to see you get a mark. Straight in front. Oh, you spoon! No, I need him to kick 4, 2 back. Fuck me. Jesus. Gee. You know, I was talking about George. That's his natural tee shot as well. If he doesn't do a snap hook out of nowhere, he just does like a hard pull. Like, tries to hit an out to in swing. Try and take away the hook away, hit a fade. And just closes the club face, and it's a straight pull, 90 metres left. Oh, Tommy. Mate. Oh, Jesus, Walmart. He's more like IGA. Fuck me. Shy Bolton just out the back of these ruck contests is a delight. Here is Tom Lynch. He's managed to take out his entire support. Is that a block? Oh, Tom Lynch is going to have another one. We love to see it. He can't fuck this up because he's had one. He's had one from here. I don't even. I don't even get what that free's for, to be honest. But push. Oh, get off. Just get off. Jesus, first one was a sighter. Second one, that is like, you know, when you're playing golf with someone and they take a drop and they do exactly the same thing they did the first shot. Like, one of the things that blags my head when I play with people. And I'm like, did you not learn? But get off with you, man. Fuck that. You know what? They always say when you're coaching golf, you can tell a good player by if they learn from their mistakes. And if they don't, you generally know you're up against it. And if you're ever doing like aiming exercises and you don't help them with their aim, you just say, you set up naturally and I can get a feel. And then you'll say, go again. And they do the same thing again. You're like, mate, it does my head in. Oh, what has Marlon Pickett done there? He had opportunity. Mate, Chris, what is going on? I didn't have money on him, though, Pete. So it makes it less painful. It's why I don't genuinely put money on Cowan. Because if you think when we've lost, I've laid into the boys, imagine if they'd not just broke my heart but lost me money. They need a big last three, and they've just given away a free. Jackson, it's how it works, mate. Well, I mean, this could be all she wrote, couldn't it? Let's be honest. This could be all she wrote here. This goes through. Jamie Elliott with a... Oh, my... Tell you what, they've all got it. Jamie Elliott has kicked that so far right. He almost missed left. Deary me. Deary me. You know what's annoying as well is the field kicking hasn't been so bad at times. Big punt down there. Do you know what I mean? Big punt. What's wrong with him there? Old Rodney Pamplin. What a golfer he was. You know what I mean? 99. That was the year. Wasn't that Paul Lawrie? 99. That he won it. Was it? 99? Paul Lawrie? That was the, yeah. Yeah, it was. When I was playing for North of England, we got to go to the Open at Murfield when Tiger Woods shot his worst ever competitive round at the time. It was like an 86 or something. Tough, though, because Carnoustie won it, yeah. So that was Paul Lawrie from memory. Second round, yeah, he had a mare, didn't he? Missed the cut. It's tough. It's tough, man. Oh, Baker shirks the tackle, gets it back. Bit of work to do here. Tell you what, Pies have done very well to stop that. That was certain goal. 1 minute 35, 51 Collingwood, Richmond 29. Do you remember Jean van der Velde as well? That was the tournament, wasn't it? Van der Velde. That was Carnoustie, wasn't it? Jean van der Velde. What? Can you imagine? Imagine, though, like, you know, leading the Open. It's every kid's dream. What a horrible way to lead the Open and then miss it. Collingwood are out here. Jamie Elliott again manages to find himself in space at centre-half forward. A minute to go, 51-29. And I think even if this is a point, that's probably all she wrote now. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't think they can double their score in a quarter. But here we are, Jamie Elliott. He's had a sighter and he's absolutely kiboshed that. Absolutely kiboshed that. 57-29, 30 seconds left in the third. And I think the man they call Billy the Kid has put the final nail in the coffin of the Tigers' charge. The ball movement is taken. It's a bad. You know what? There's not many happy Collingwood faces there, though. Do you know what I mean? Jeepers. Some of them look like they want to go home. Look at Jamie Elliott's run here, like Tupac says. Forwards. Look at this here. He's attacking that space. Look at the attack on that space. I thought he was looking to high-five the umpire then. I was like, what's going on there? I'm not too sure what that kick was there. Rioli won't thank him for it. Charles Manson. 12 seconds left. Kick deep in Collingwood's D50, but this is going to be just a big bomb up the wing. Kill time. And they'll take the kick in. And there is the siren. 3/4 time, 57-29. And tell you what, Richmond, a lot of work to do in this fourth, but tell you what, full credit to Collingwood that quarter. They have killed that game. And we're really watching this now to hope the unlikely happens and Lynch has a big fourth. That is so annoying that everything has come in as well. You just hate to see it. Stupid thing, gambling. Say, stupid thing, mate. Silly spot. Tell you what, these ads for MotoGP, absolutely intense. Argentine Grand Prix. Oh, in 30 minutes. Who knew? Anyone else think these ads just get more ridiculous? Like, does anyone else think ads have been dumbed down? Good for banter, CC. It is, mate. Hey, do you know what I mean? It's good for banter. It's a shame, man, though. Like, I thought Lynch was a lock this game, to be honest. I think Charlie works hard up the ground like Cameron. He takes a lot of marks up there. So does Harry. My issue is the smalls don't work like Jamie. I'd love Jesse Botlop to watch it. Where in Argentina? I'm guessing Buenos Aires, isn't it? Isn't it? I'll tell you now. Argentina MotoGP. It is in the Autodrome Tomás de Rio Hondo, which is where? Which is in the Rio Hondo. Okay, cool. Well, you know. There you are. There we are. Man United, Liverpool. Who would win? Oh, dear. Well, I mean, let's be honest. Liverpool have the bragging rights at the moment, don't they? I'd like to think that United will have learned from that 7-0. But that's a shellacking. Do you know what I mean? That is a shellacking. So probably I can't bring myself to say Liverpool. So just take that as a confession if you want. What's this an ad for? Sweet jeepers. Anyone else think that quarter time seems to last for ages? Like, I was chatting the other day to one of my mates. I think half time in football goes really quickly in the UK. Seems to just be over and done with. You like you go outside, you have a cup of tea, chat to your mate, and then suddenly it's like second half. Seems to take forever. That Pendle goal was pretty tasty, though. A bit of shapes there as well. What's everyone's go-to shape? I reckon it's the green one, barbecue. But, you know, I'm going to throw in a second here. Vegemite shape. Bit of controversy. Bit of MLB. You know what? It's probably one of the few times I have never... It's probably one of the few spots that I don't fully get. Oh, pizza. Good shout, Michael. Half-time into... I think it's because the pundits are boring. CC, you get it, man. Vegemite shapes. Honestly, I'm telling you, barbecue and pizza. There you are, Santiago del Estrio. There you are. To be honest, I'm going to spoiler. Argentina, the only place I could think was Buenos Aires. Never been to Argentina. Vegemite shapes, mate. Honestly, they slap. They slap. They do go hard. I'm an over Vegemite guy, to be honest. My wife tells me off being an Australian because I smear it on. I like Vegemite. I'm pro Vegemite. It's good, man. Did anyone try that Vegemite chicken? I never had it, but I did get my kids Vegemite pizzas from McCain's when we had a cheat tea the other day. And one of my boys hated it, and I had it. And I'll tell you what, Vegemite over tomato sauce on a pizza, it's a game changer. I'm telling you. It's a game changer. I am all about it. Vegemite cheese pizza. Secret. Tasted it. That was Pom's big call for Friday night. Oh, Michael, mate, it's just stupid. Honestly, multis are rigged, man. It's always one thing. You know, the amount of free bets I've had from Sportsbet this year as well, one multi failing. It's doing my head in. Kick down the wing. Oh, our Crummers definitely need to get a better 2-pack. We're saying it about Richmond. They're always front and centre at the fall of the ball. It's something that I feel like they've probably missed out on in 3 years, that it was kick it long and hope. Richmond need this first. Oh, mate, Vegemite and melted cheese. Forget about it. So good. I'd love to go to South America. Koken here with an important kick inside 50. Trent Cotchin's kicking inside 50 has been absolutely barbaric. Cheers, John, mate. Honestly, Vegemite slaps, man. Absolutely slaps. And I don't like Marmite. We have, like, I wouldn't say it's our version of Vegemite, but it's the closest we've got to it. And I can't stand Marmite. My pop ate Marmite all the time. Couldn't stand it. But, mate, Vegemite. Fell in love. Big tackle from Shy Bond. That's got to be holding the ball. I have no idea how that is. Darcy Cameron is off. They are going for it. Josh Carmichael enters the fray. Shy Bolton's done incredibly well to get that one-handed. What a grab! Judson Clark flies like an otter, and it's not Judson Clark, it's Ryan Mansell. What a grab that is. Apologies, Mansell family. What a grab. Hey there, Chills, mate. How are you doing, my brother? What a grab. This is huge. He's got some cool tats as well, which is a rarity in the AFL world. Ah, tell you what. They've got the yips. Agricultural. The agricultural swing. Well, I'll tell you what, that goal would have made it. That goal would have made it a bit interesting, wouldn't it? We had a little bit of a moment, but oh, surely that's out on the full. Oh, come on. You see, I'm a big advocate. Off your knee, that is your foot. That is your foot, man. You know what I mean? Like, come on. I'll tell you what, if you crossed the ball into me and it came off me like that, I would have classed that as a volley. And we would have been having a beer in the clubhouse going, what a volley. Vintage. It's like Pele. You know what? Interesting fact. You don't really wear shin pads, do you? I don't think in football over here. But I'll tell you what, if you ever hit a crisp first time shot and it bounces off your shinny, you will never, ever, ever hit a ball as sweet as that. The spin it comes off your shin. Amazing. If you could time it, shit, you'd be good. There we are. Big effort here. Ball comes in. Hey, one of the best goals I ever scored was the semi-final, right? In the Evening News Trophy. And my mate squared it to me, and I hit it first time. We were 3-0 up at this point, so I thought, let's have a ping. And it was just on the edge of the area, and it came off my shin pad. And honestly, It just floated over the goalkeeper. And easily the best goal I ever scored. Easily the best goal. And those who'd played with me for about 10 years at that time knew that it was a total accident. I was like a tap-in merch, but absolute belting goal. Dined out on me for a long time. Bolter clears his lines. Frantic footy. Come on, run your good thing. Tell you what, fair play to Richmond. They're giving this a crack. 15 minutes 50, 27 is the difference. Pendles enters the fray. This is a big exchange, this. If Richmond can score here. Richmond have to defend, and Ash Johnson has taken a fabulous grab. Everyone's streaming in now. It's a great little kick. Got a lot of work to do. Jamie Elliott, brave. Shai Bolton could be in trouble. He's got rid of it. Vlostin. Tell you what, this game, who can beat the Pies? Oh, they're beatable, but they are good. Let's be honest. I'd love to see if we can get everything licked. I'm not having my blue glasses, but when Richmond started to get ascendancy around the centre contest, all started to work out. Boys have just got to keep proving they're consistent. That's what Collingwood are doing well at the moment. They're so consistent every week. Sydney. Be interesting to see what Sydney do. They've got a proper team this week. We'll get a good benchmark of them. I think GWS is a good benchmark for us, because they're the games we usually do screw up. He hasn't even attempted to get rid of that umps. It's big for them, because now you're going to have to play McStay. This is what happens. Do you know what I mean? You know who has been really pants this game? Trent Cotchin has been absolute babber. Oh, Chills is right as well. I think this league is so strong. 18 teams can beat 18, probably with the exception of Hawks. But Hawks are an anomaly because they're so young. You'll get the games like 2018 Carlton, like the Essendon game, where pace kills and you're off. I think it's 4 weeks. He's got a hematoma in his rib cage. So that will require 2 weeks minimum. So it might be the big lad they've got. Is it not Beg? Who's the big lad they've got? Might be Beg, actually. Might be Beg. Good tackle. Tell you what, there's been some tasty tackles this game as well. I'm a fan of tasty tackles. That's right, Oscar Steen. Steen could maybe come in really early. And Beg is on their list still. Richmond lack of talent. I think they're just missing Shaw, Martin, huge outs. Broad stupidity. But then again, Pies, they're missing players as well, aren't they? Oh. Who's the most ticklish AFL player? I reckon. Well, are you meaning ticklish as in like tickle under the armpits, they'll giggle? I don't know if this is like an Australianism, so I don't know if I should answer it, but I'm going to specify if it's like ticklish as in hee and being tickled on the ribs. I reckon, because I used to enjoy the armpit pinch in a set piece as a striker and the old tickle under the armpits. I reckon Phil Davis. I reckon I would have been a nightmare on Phil Davis. I reckon he would have hated it. Taylor Adams has just played for 3 head-high contacts. That needs to be stamped out in the game. If the AFL wants to get rid of concussions, that needs to be discouraged because he's putting himself at risk. Appreciate Taylor Adams is hard, but that's mental. He didn't have to put his head in the first one. Big intercept mark. Tell you what, one goal here makes it interesting. That could be downfield, couldn't it? Feather Dustin Martin, clever. I love a bit of Adam Sard, gotta say. Can't wait to see him tomorrow. Well, Tom Lynch has basically... It's been Jimmy Hoffa this game, hasn't he? Let's be honest. Could have been buried in the car park and we wouldn't have noticed, really. 11 minutes, 57-30. Feel like Smegos set me up. Prime Casbolt. I feel like ticklish is an Australianism that I'm not aware of. Oh, Frampton there. Lynch. Oh, that. Oh, big tackle. Big tackle from Tom Lynch. Collingwood fan there taking a picture of Jack Riewoldt. Bizarre. That's a huge goal. 36-57, 10 minutes. There's still enough on the clock here. They're going to have to work hard. Jack does kick it, but it keeps you in. Well, did you see Tom Lynch's effort? He got slightly bumped by Frampton, and then like 2 seconds later, he went down. Jeeps. Watch this here a lot. So he slapped it on. What's going on there? Big goal. You know what? Riewoldt as well. I'll give him this. When it matters, he slots them, doesn't he? He's got a filthy habit of it. Makes it interesting with no recognised ruckman. Oh, there's a bit of manic pressure. Oh, Rioli sidesteps. Go on, young lad. Tom Lynch. Surely can't miss this. He's right in front. Has he got enough time? if he pulls this, CC. Taking Tom Mitchell. He's got it. I think people downplay Tom Mitchell, but when he gets the ball 40 times, he hits an inside runner. That's dangerous. I need 3, you need 2. Let's hope he gets 3, then we both win. So annoying as well, man. It's a huge goal there in the context. 15 points, 9:30. And the good news for me and CC is they are going to be bombing it in. Look, Rewalt is saying, just peg this bugger in. Get it in and we'll do something. Manic pressure, though, from Richmond. Game on. Watch about round 5. I think it'll be about then, round 5, round 6. Can I ask why the umpire's taking such a freaking run-up to throw the ball in the air? Isaac Quaynor with an absolute roost. Big tackle. Big tackle from both. He's asking for holding the ball. The guy is mental because Rioli just took the ball. Well, I mean, it's the betting markets. And what are the odds? Well, I mean, 228, 160. It's almost the same as Hawthorn to beat North. So it's close, but not that close. Tell you what, Cumberland has been sensational since coming on. 100%, Chris. Just belief in their system is insane. Yeah, Quaynor is built briskly. Eight minutes 26. DeGoey has the free at the halfway. They are packing the wings already. Tell you what, that Bo McCreary is like just a tackle specialist, isn't he? Trent gets the free kick. They are a weaker side. He just love a cheapie, doesn't he? Oh, I'll tell you what, Trent, he's just got a bit of his own medicine there. Tell you what a ruse that was. That was a big hit. I'm surprised that wasn't called a free, to be honest. Seven minutes to go. 15 is the separation. I tell you what, Richard are going to have to start going soon. What the hell is Frampton doing? You know, Frampton looks so awkward when he plays. Tom Mitchell wants in. I think you've got to go for the goal, haven't you? Richmond with a free. The ball is going to come in here. Oh, Lynch. My brother. You'd be crazy to try and keep Bo here. Surely Bo's just tossed that. Free kick. Tell you what, Richmond are bringing the pressure here with 6 minutes to go. A goal now makes it tasty. Ralph Smith, great lid. Oh, he's totally done him there with a handball. And the Pies clear their lines. Good mark by Jamie Elliott. Bit of work to do. Carmichael's up for it, though. Good handball back inside if that gets paddled. Great kick by Bo. Degoe gets it. And that should be all she wrote. Dan McStay takes the mark. This should underline it, though. He's a very good player. You've got to admit, I hate to admit it as well, but Degoe can play football. He can ball. Good goal there. That looks like it's fixed it. They needed to kick that goal just to close the door. The door probably has shut. I think Carlton just played a game plan that Richmond don't like. So I think tactically we're better. Interesting this one that the wet weather has kind of equalised it. Do you know what I mean? It's not really conducive for the style of football Collingwood play. Interesting to see. McStay made up for it as well because he missed 2 sitters in the opening. I can't wait to play Richmond, though. Can't wait to play Collingwood, sorry. Can't wait to play him. Oh, Dylan Grimes, marauding halfback. 4 minutes. They've got to go quick. We're going to see some counter-punch Richmond football. I reckon Hinkley or Bevo. Four minutes to go. Well, they've got to go. He did have a good win. I think that's more a reflection on Brisbane, though, to be fair. I don't trust him. I think they're the most disappointing side of the last decade with that list. We love a maraud. Thank you, Fred. Oh, Smegov, spot on. Very early doors, do you know what I mean? Oh, what a roost. What a roost. If that doesn't lift you, nothing will. Tell you what, fair play to the young man. He has absolutely knocked that into next year. Good goal. Good goal. You love to see it. You love to see it. Bit late, though. But I'll tell you what, Jack Ross, fair play to you, mate. Do that 4 more times, you win the game. Do you know what I mean? Like that. Tell you what, you love him taking a defensive half free kick, 1-0. Everyone goes forward. Nice show of underpants there. We love to see it. 2 minutes 50 in. Oh, Lockie would have loved one of them. Oh, Tim Taranto, 3 attempts. He gets it out. Oh, Morris. He deserves a goal, Morris. Oh, good tackle. No need for that, Nick, mate. Hey. What is going on here? Why did Nick Dacos do that to Rioli? Bizarre. Bizarre football. Bizarre football. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was no need for Nick to do that. Like, I love a bit of passion like the rest of them, but yeah, you've done your big mouthing on the scoreboard. Do you know what I mean? Collingwood taking the piss here a bit. Like, there was absolutely zero need in what we've just seen there. Fair play to Rioli for standing up. Tom Lynch coming in was good value, to be fair. I mean, at least he's done something tonight. Fair play to Tom. It's nice he's done something tonight, other than screw my bet. Oh, look at him. He's angry. He's angry. Tom, mate, kick 4 goals, mate. Come back and talk to me, brother. You know what? Soccer's off the deck absolutely killed me watching it as a pom. Some horrendous tech is shown. That should be a free. I haven't, Fred. A big roost. Oh, Tom Lynch. Well, does Tom Lynch know he's cost me my bet or something? Is this why he's angry with himself? He's got a mean streak, and I'm all about it. Darcy Cameron. That's about it, Andrew. Well, 30 seconds left. Collingwood kill time here with 25 seconds left on the clock. They're going to welly one in. Hey, tell you what, Lynch has come alive. I mean, the last 5 minutes, it's all been Lynch, and he's thugtastic, and I'm all about it. And that is it then. The Pies end up winning the game. Was it a classic? No, 14 points. Howie's back in hospital with an infection. Well, Hopefully he gets well soon. We want them at full strength when we play them, but 14-point win. The pie train keeps moving on. Was it convincing? Not really, but it was a win in the end. Do you know what I mean? You've got to win. Sometimes let's hope both sides remain unbeaten for when we play each other. That would be a ripping tale. But Pies hold out against the Tigers, who were resurgent at the end of some of the quarters, but couldn't quite get it together. Pies end the week with the win, and we move on to Carlton tomorrow against GWS, which we can't wait. But thank you very much for sticking around. Much love, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. Go and watch some EPL. Spot on. Much love. Good night, and God bless.